Hi, everyone. We're going to talk about audio editing today and moving that audio up to the web so you can do something with it in your final project. Should you decide to do something with audio, oftentimes you'll go out and shoot video and maybe come back with some really good audio from an interview you've done and need to edit those clips out. Maybe the video didn't turn out quite so well, but the audio is usable. So it's very easy to take that video clip and just convert it into audio, what's called a WAV file, .wav, and then put it into an audio editor, trim out what you need, just a couple sound bites here or there, and then load it into a tool called SoundCloud, soundcloud.com, and that's what SoundCloud looks like. I remember asking all of you at the start of the semester how many of you had an account, and a few of you raised your hands, I think about a third of the class. So if you don't, go set up a free account at soundcloud.com. SoundCloud allows you to store audio for free. I think you get about 2 hours worth. And then also allows you to take a little module like this and hit the share button. You can, after you upload your audio, and you get a link, or you also get an embed code where you can embed that audio player right into your web page, and it looks really cool and a real nice way to present your audio in a web page. The tool we're going to use to edit our audio is called Sodaphonic. It's a browser-based tool. There are many others, and maybe you prefer using GarageBand on your Mac or something like that. If you want to use another tool to edit your audio, that's perfectly okay. Some of the Adobe tools are really good. But I give you guys Sodaphonic just because you can use it anywhere, because it works on your browser, sodaphonic.com. It does require you to create a little login. It's free. Just use your email account to set it up. And then once you're in there, you'll see the little old-fashioned tape reels going like that, and you know you're in. In your Week 12 folder, I've given you some audio just to practice with. I'm not grading you on anything with this, but Obama's gun speech. This is a speech Obama delivered in 2013 here in Chicago in Hyde Park, shortly after Hadia Pendleton was shot and killed in a Chicago park. It made national headlines. She was an A student, honor student, really good kid, involved at school, was caught in some gang crossfire in a park and was shot and killed. So download this audio. Just double click on it and give you a little download button in the upper right hand corner. The audio may start playing, but just go ahead and download it to your desktop so you have it out here like this. And then open up sodaphonic.com, sodaphonic.com, Sodaphonic. I've got a link to it on your weekly class schedule here, down a little lower on the page, so you can open up Sodaphonic and go to work. So here we go, Sodaphonic. Choose your audio file. It'll import MP3s, WAV files. A WAV file is .wav. It's kind of a raw audio file that typically you would get if you were working on your phone and recording something and then downloading it to your desktop. Here's Sodaphonic. The playhead's right here. These little lines you see here are called waveforms. And then you have the little controls down here. And if you're more comfortable using those, I usually hit my keystrokes for them. To start and stop the audio is the space bar, things like that. But whatever you want, if you want to hit play, pause, that type of thing. Fast forward, rewind, go back to the start, go to the end for some reason. But I'm going to show you real quickly how you can do a quick edit on this. Obama's speeches are very easy to edit, so I gave it to you. He does very long dramatic pauses between his points, so that's really easy. That's the little dips here you see in the different wave parts of the waveform, and it makes it very easy for audio editors to go in and edit there. And as we narrow down our selection in here, you get more detailed waveforms. You can also use zoom in, zoom out to get down and really get it down to the breath, or if it's music, the drum beat. So I'm just going to hit the playhead here and let Obama talk, and we're going to roll up to about the 38-second mark, which is him talking, really opening his speech up. He does always what's called a cold open, kind of like what you see in a monologue on Saturday Night Live. And they do a little talk. He does a little talk here and kind of warms up the crowd. Again, it didn't take much because it was right here in Chicago in Hyde Park. So I'll go ahead and hit the play button, and we'll go ahead and listen to his first 37 seconds of the cold open.
Some people may not know this, but obviously this is my old neighborhood. I used to teach right around the corner. This is where Michelle and I met where we fell in love. This is where we raised our daughters in a house just about a mile away from here, less than a mile. And that's really what I've come here to talk about today, raising our kids. I love you too. I love you too.
So that point right there where the kids finish yelling, we love you, and he goes, I love you too. Notice that big dip in the waveform. That's his dramatic pause. Now he's going to start his speech. So what I can do here is just do a kind of rough cut by making a selection. As I hover over the waveform, it gives me that little crosshair. And I'll just kind of paint back from that area. And I'll go up here to edit and hit cut. You can also do selections in here and hit trim, but I just like to trim back and hit cut. And now, after it's finished cutting, I can hit play and kind of see if I've got any loose ends there that I can later trim off. So notice I did miss a little bit there, but once I make my cut, I can final cuts. I can trim that little glitch out of there that has the kid yelling "Love you" real quick. So I'm going to hit play now, and we're going to listen to the rest of the clip up to where he talks about keeping people safe.
I'm here to make sure that we talk about and then work towards giving every child every chance in life, building stronger communities and new ladders of opportunity that they can climb into the middle class and beyond. And most importantly, keeping them safe from harm.
Keeping them safe from harm. That's the big dramatic pause. Notice the big dip in the waveform. I'm just going to do a rough cut there, grab a hold of it, and go to the end, and I'm going to trim that off. And when I do that, by hitting cut, it'll stretch this waveform out, and I can get much more detailed in my playhead. So I'm going to go back to the start now, just by hit the start button down here, and I'm going to hit play. Notice how it's more detailed now. And I can go right into this waveform and get right up to where he starts talking right here. Just give him a little bit of a pause here. You don't want to edit too tightly. You might cut off the first word that he says. I cut it again.
I'm here to make sure.
See how much cleaner that is? And now we'll see how I've done at the end. Go back on the playhead here. I'll hit rewind a couple times.
Keeping them safe from harm.
So I've got a little bit of dead air at the end here. It's not bad to have a little bit, but I have too much there. So I'm just going to clean that off too. Again, I could have just hit the selection in the middle of the audio and hit trim on it. It would have selected this, but I wanted to trim the edges off, kind of show you how you can work from the outside in. If you're inexperienced with audio editing, that's a good way to go, is to just kind of start at the ends and start trimming down. Now that I've got my audio clip that I want, I can go up here to File and Export, and it gives me some options. MP3 or WAV file. Let's convert it to MP3 and leave it in stereo. The monotone doesn't sound quite as well. One of my students recorded this off of a speech that he covered down in Hyde Park. So he was right by the speaker, so he got really good audio. He was actually credentialed media for this event. And now the audio, since it's a very short clip, is downloaded into my downloads folder. And there's my clip. And I've got it right there as an MP3 file. So now what I'd want to do with this, I can upload it to SoundCloud. And you can do that, when you set up a SoundCloud account, you should always go into your profile here, add a photo and maybe a little bio about yourself and things like that. And again, it gives you a couple free hours of audio here. So I can go ahead and upload my audio clip. And I can drag and drop it in, or I can do click on here and just upload it on my own. And The genre, again, you're not doing music here, but you can go in and add some tags in here. 2013. I'd add Hadia Pendleton too, because that was part of this speech. And write a little description down here, a couple sentences about it. You want to make it public, obviously, and you'll hit save. And you can add an image in there too. It had a little thing there to hit an image. It will upload, and then it will give you this little link here. You can also go back and look at all your tracks. It does try to sell you the pro version of this, and if you want to do a paid version of SoundCloud, you can. But you can go back and look at your tracks, and these are all the audio clips I've loaded up in the past. I'll grab this one down here from another speech, Bruce Rauner. And once it uploads, you have this little waveform in here. You hit the share button, and it gives you all the opportunities to grab either the link or go to the embed code and grab the embed code right here if that works. It's an iframe, so it should work okay. And you can also hit this little WordPress code. It'll give you WordPress short code, which is really nice. And that WordPress embed code should work as well. You can just grab it right here. So that's pretty much SoundCloud and Sodaphonic. If you're going to add audio to your final project, that's a good way to go. It'll also these links to the SoundClouds will also work with your timeline and story map JS projects if you're doing one of those for your final project. That's kind of a cool little benefit to that. So something to think about. Just practice with that audio editor and uploading to SoundCloud just so you get a feel for it. It could come in really handy. We've had a lot of students do some really good audio with their projects in the past. So give that some thought as you move along. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you later.